These statistics are alarming. They are alarming. And when I first saw this study, I was very, very disturbed. Not only is it incorrect doctrine to affirm that Jesus is just a mere man, or even an angel, or anything less than God. Not only is that not right, like I think other things are not right, like Calvinism and young earth creationism. Those are not right. But this is not right in a worse way than those other things I think are not right. Believing that Jesus is anything less than God is a damnable heresy. It's a damnable heresy. It's not something that you could be wrong on. When I get to heaven, and let's say that God tells me, hey, that evolution thing, that's not true. That's not how I created. I created I created using independent miracles. The earth is old, but I didn't use evolution. So you should have been in the RTB camp. He's not going to send me to hell for that if I get that wrong. Or he's not going to send me to hell. Hey, you know what? All that dispensationalist stuff, as the Left Behind theology, all of that was right. And you made fun of those guys, and you were a preterist. But you're still going to be let into heaven. But if I get the person of Jesus wrong, yikes. That's not something that I can be wrong on, and God would be okay with that. All truth is important, but not all truth is equally important. Now, why is the deity of Jesus a make or break issue for salvation, but some of these others can be considered in-house issues? Well, here Jesus himself tells us why. In John chapter 5, verses 22 to 23, Jesus says, quote, "Moreover, the Father judges no one, but has entrusted all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him," end quote. That's in John chapter 5, verses 22 to 23. So in the way that we honor the Father, that's the exact same way that we're supposed to honor the Son. Now, a blogger named Jim Boshure in his blog post, "Can a Christian Believe That Jesus Is Not God?" He wrote this, quote, "The word translated into honor in this verse refers literally to the value that we place on somebody, the esteem that we give a person. If a king tells us to honor the prince, we are to treat the prince as though he were the king. He is to be esteemed as one esteems the king. The illustration is precisely parallel to what Jesus says of himself and the Father. He says that we must honor the Son in exactly the same way that we honor the Father. The Father acts so that all will honor the Son even as they honor the Father. Then he takes it from a corporate level to an individual level. The man who does not honor the Son in this way does not honor the Father. The man who does not honor the Son exactly the way he honors the Father does not honor the Father. Thus, the man who does not esteem Jesus as God consequently fails to honor the Father. Can a Christian believe that Jesus is not God? No, they would not be honoring the Son as they honor the Father," end quote. Another biblical passage that shows why this is an essential doctrine is John chapter 8, verse 24. In this verse, Jesus says, quote, "I told you that you would indeed die in your sins if you do not believe that I am he. You will indeed die in your sins," end quote. Now, in the Zondervan Illustrated Bible Backgrounds commentary, Andreas J. Kostenberger writes of this verse, quote, "If you do not believe that I am the one who I claim to be," 8:24. The proper Old Testament background of this "I am" statement, also in 8:28 and 58, appears to be Exodus chapter 3, verses 13 to 14, as further developed in Isaiah chapter 40, chapters 40 to 55. Thus, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10 says, "You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you may know and believe me and understand that I am he. In context, the phrase I am he in this passage means I am forever the same, and perhaps even I am Yahweh, alluding to Exodus 3:14. Anyone other than God who applied this designation to himself was guilty of blasphemy and subject to God's wrath. Isaiah chapter 47, verses 8 to 9, Zechariah chapter 2, verse 15, end quote.